I would also request SHUBA, CA SHUBA to join us on the stage.
On behalf of SIRC of ICAI, we welcome you all to the today's CPE seminar, Chai Pe Charcha, High Tea with High Achievers. I would like to, members please rise for the motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तदेव शुक्रब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Please take your seats. I would like to call CAS Revati Raghunathan, Chairperson of SIRC of ICAI, to give the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to welcome everyone for today's session. First, we thought it will be high tea with high achievers. We generally do not, seldom get members from the industry to come. They don't have the time. They are really high achievers and they will be holding such high positions that it's extremely difficult to get an appointment with them, and especially an appointment to come here and sit with us and have a chat with us. But luckily for me, I was able to get the time from both CA Chithra and CA Geetha Jayaraman, who I happen to know. I am familiar with both of them, so I think they kind of emotionally blackmailed them into accepting the invite to come to SIRC and share their journey. And it is a privilege when a past president calls up and tells Amma, I know them both well, I want to join. I said, okay sir, you're welcome. And then where else would I put him but as the chief guest, for which also he questioned me. But he's outnumbered here by the number of students. I don't know whether K. Ravi sir was his student, but all the rest of us are his students. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and the icing on the cake is one more past chairman who has come here today to actually take part in this conversation. So I can't think of, when I actually thought we will do this, I did not think that, we will take this program in such a nice manner with so many people coming to bless us. And the audience also are all very serious people, and I always feel that as practicing chartered accountants, most of us will always talk about how tough it is to practice, how tough it is to set up a practice, what are the problems we are facing. We don't get enough assignments, but we generally don't hear the other side of the story, what is happening in the industry, what a lot of problems they will go. I'm sure that they also have, you take one step forward, they will take 3 steps backwards, and you have a close knit community there with whom you have to interact. And generally, you always have to be, my own impression is, when you are in a close-knit community, you always have to be on your best behavior, and you'll have to actually ensure that you are on good terms with everybody. As practicing CAs, sometimes we can go and let off steam to somebody in our office, but I doubt whether that is allowed to them. And so I think that we should actually showcase the achievements of all the people in the industry. And as a matter of coincidence, and as a matter of, I would say that I happen to have a good friendship with both the ladies here. I managed to get in only ladies, and only after that I realized, oh my God, I didn't invite any gentlemen CA here, but then we are compensated with two of them who are sitting here, who I'm sure are going to contribute a lot to this conversation. So thank you very much to both of you for actually, Chithra ma'am and Geetha, for accepting our invite and coming here to share your journey, and of course to Bupathy sir and Ravi sir for actually coming. It's very encouraging, when seniors who have actually been at the helm of affairs at the institute to come and they understand what are the pain points. So both of them coming here, and of course a very, very warm gratitude to SHUBA. I just threw her under the bus. I told her, SHUBA, you have to come and do this program. And she said, no. I said, okay, fine, I put your name down. I didn't allow her to actually give any excuse whatsoever. Thanks a ton, SHUBA. And I hope that everyone here will actually sit through and enjoy this journey which both these high achievers have actually taken, the path less trodden, I think, because achieving the glass ceiling is very difficult. Okay, they are almost there, and I hope best wishes to both of you to achieve more than the glass ceiling also. Thank you very much for accepting us, and welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to call K. Ravi sir to give the special address to the gathering.
Past President Mr. Bupathy, gracious ladies on the dais, my dear, I can't say professional colleagues because I have run away from that profession. So, colleagues, if you want, I can say. I don't know why I've been made a bakra. I just came to I thought I'll enjoy some 1 hour of time in this group, and finally I've become a bakra. And I realized why Revati suddenly decided that she should get me on the dais. You see, in many houses, or probably even establishments, there'll be one pushtika outside. Drishti Bomma. You have to have a Drishti Bomma everywhere, because in any event, there has to be a failure. If there are high achievers, you must compare them with somebody. That's why I'm here. Because, after all, you say, on the Kodandam comedy, I was watching it last night, where the school, every student has failed, but he says, look, I'm going to give an award to the person who came first because he got 148, whereas the minimum was some 300 to pass. So even in that school, within that, all the students who have failed, he's on top. So therefore, you get somebody like that. And if you look at me today, I think I'm talking fairly confidently. I was a successful failure as a orator. Believe me, in my final year in college, 900 students, co-education college, mid of 70s in Mumbai. We had an oratorical competition, and in that competition, whoever gets the award, that will be announced only on the college day at that minute. You will never know it in advance. You can never know it in advance. But all those who participate are directed to sit. And the person who came last, that person will give away the award to the person who came first. So there are 20 of us. In between, 18 people can say, I narrowly missed it. I can't say that because I gave away the award to a colleague of mine, classmate of mine by name Anita Dalal, who was 5 feet 1 inch. I felt very insulted. I said that day I will change my entire outlook to life, and I said I must become a powerful speaker. I never went to any training college, everything. I'll give you this tip for those of you who think you can't do public speaking. Take the newspaper, close yourself inside a room, read it loudly, particularly the center page articles. You'll know where to pause. You will not know the words of meanings of many words, but don't bother about it. Pick up a dictionary. You will learn to speak and speak in confidence. After all, when we speak on one-to-one basis, do we not speak well? Why is it we are scared of our audience? You tell me now for the next 1 hour, I'll guess about science. You will not know that I have spoken nonsense. Only when you get out of the hall, you will know I have spoken nonsense. This is an oratorical ability which each one of us can pick up without any difficulty. Without any difficulty. And I'm saying this because I am that who was an absolute failure, transformed myself to a substantial extent. I won't say I'm a great speaker, but I still think I can go away. All of you, I would request every one of you, may not be useful for you, but at least for your next generation, children, everything. There is a beautiful video, Arunima Sinha on top of the world. I don't know how many of you have seen it. Please see that video. It's a 26-minute video, Arunima Sinha on top of the world. Ink Talks, I think it's under the banner of Ink Talks, I-N-K, Ink Talks. It's a fantastic story. I will not tell you anything about it because I want you to watch it. It will make a deep impact on you. She talks in Hindi, but there are English subtitles. If that doesn't help you to achieve or at least aim for greater things in life, I don't know what else will achieve. There is another talk which I would like you to listen is to Bhakti Sharma. What open water swimming taught me about resilience. It's a TED talk. Shah Rukh Khan will actually say, I now welcome Bhakti Sharma. It's a fantastic this thing where she talks about demons within us. Most of us think we are incapable of many things. Honestly, we are capable of many things. We are capable of everything. There's nothing that we cannot achieve. It's a desire to achieve. Can I take another 2 minutes? I hope I'm not boring all of you. I was just now telling them that, and I think I mentioned it, you need to have a Drishti Bomma. That's me. Because I'm a successful failure. Having practiced for more than 25 years as a chartered accountant and being fairly unsuccessful, I shifted myself as an advocate. I'm quite comfortable, not that I was uncomfortable this side, but I gave up signing balance sheets years back. I always thought it was a compromise for multiple reasons. But you name the scam, I would have been a defense counsel somewhere. Whether you take of the chartered account implicated in the Harshit Mehta scam, the Ketan Parikh scam, most of them. I'll be there on one side or the other. Another very, very successful person with whom I like to emulate is Mr. Arvind Datar, Senior Counsel. Courtroom Genius. Arvind Datar on Courtroom Genius in K. Ravi's office. It's a 10-part video. Those of you who are keen on achieving, please look at it. At the age of 68 or 67, he scales the base camp for Mount Everest. It needs phenomenal effort, and he told me the secret of it. I asked him, how did you manage? He said he stays in Shangri-La in New Delhi. He says, I told the manager and said every day I'll walk up the 21 floors and come down. Every day, morning and evening, he was doing it instead of taking the lift. He said, I developed everything. So there is a root to everything. It's just that we need to apply our mind. I'll leave you with a last thought. Those of you who think you're not able to concentrate, please read this book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's a fantastic book. And I would strongly recommend that every one of you, or at least the next generation, should read it to know how to develop that ability to keep away from all the social media and things like that. I'll keep, my mobile cannot be out of me, and I'm not out of the mobile. But I think we should keep ourselves away. Ladies and gentlemen, I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you for your patient listening. And I hope this talk is somewhere will be a source of inspiration. If on the contrary, it's a source of perspiration for all of you, I plead guilty to the crime of having wasted your time and depart. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your special address. We are deeply honored to have received your valuable insights and guidance. Thank you, sir. I would like to call CA Soumya to introduce today's speakers.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Good afternoon, all the respected dignitaries present over the dais. So, I would like to welcome CA Chithra ma'am and give a brief introduction about her. She is a Senior General Manager and Chief Compliance Officer of the South Indian Bank Limited. She qualified in the year 1994. She did her articleship with Rangamani and Co. LLP. She joined SIB in 1995 and part of the team for the last 3 decades. She has handled key posts of Chief Financial Officer and Chief Risk Officer also. And Confederation of Indian Industries recognized her as the leading women CFO of 2022. She has worked in multiple functions including finance, risk, credit, treasury, recovery, customer onboarding, as well in multiple geographies including metros. Her strengths are transformation in the respective functions through centralization and automation. She has centralized the statutory audit, centralization of expense approval and payments, automation of financial statements, centralization of AML alert processing. She has improved the quality and timelines of team deliverables through mentoring and monitoring. We are absolutely happy to have you for today, ma'am. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Now, Ms. Geetha Jayaraman, she is a seasoned industry leader, currently serving as Director, GRC at Capgemini Technology Services in Chennai. She has over 3 decades of experience guiding organizations to adopt technology solutions to achieve business outcomes. Geetha ma'am served as an advisory council member in the She Leads Tech program at ISACA and has also held several positions with Chennai chapter board, including president. She is passionate about teaching and continuous learning. She keeps herself abreast with evolving technology trends. We are very much happy to welcome and have her over here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. Thank you. So, now our moderator of the day, CA SHUBA GOWRISHANKAR. She is a practicing chartered accountant who brings in over 2.5 decades of experience in taxation and audit handling, a diverse clientele of second generation practice. She is also a strategic advisor in Quantafin Solutions Private Limited, a company specializing in family trust and other consulting services. She is a commerce graduate from Ethiraj College for Women and has also passed the final of company secretaryship exam. A proud nationalist with other interests including sports, music and politics. I hope we will have a wonderful time with her as a moderator. Welcome to the board. Thank you. I thank Revati ma'am for this opportunity to present myself here. I was also announced at the last time for introducing the speakers, but I am very glad I came over here and see the wonderful personalities of our institute. Ma'am said many of us over here are students of Bupathy sir. I am not your student sir, but I am a virtual follower like Rajnikant Kamal Hassan and always I have not met you, but it was always my dream to see you someday in life like T.N. Manoharan sir and Bupathy sir, MPV sir, our stalwarts of our institute. I am so happy to see you and share the dais over here. Thank you. And sir, I keenly listened to your speech and I finally observed that why you have landed as an advocate because of your oratorical skills only. That shows that whatever the deep passion we have, that will lead to the life that we want to achieve. That was absolutely wonderful, and it is not that easy to like no sir, no, not at all. I was so impressed that you set the tone for the day actually. See, the Chai Pe Charcha is like it gives a casual casual background to any serious topic. When it is a CPE meeting, it will always be a serious tone for various reasons. So when it is a like a casual conversation, it is always fun, and you really set the tone. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. And I hope we will all have wonderful session today. Thank you.
They would like to add to for inspiring young chartered accountants here, ma'am. So please feel free to add anything out of the questions I ask. Also, it's fine. So first, let me just start with Chithra ma'am here. Ma'am, what exactly attracted you to the CA profession and how did you go and join the banking sector?
It was mere force which made me a CA. Is that okay? You can hear me? Yeah. Right from school days, I used to take classes for my fellow classmates. So whenever if they don't understand maths, I'll take classes for maths. Teacher will not be there, but I'll be taking for my, who are studying with me. So after hearing my classes, all my teachers used to say, Chithra, you should be a teacher. So right from those days, that thought imbibed on me that I should be a teacher. And of course, maths was always a passion for me. It was always 100 out of 100 for all maths papers. So naturally, I wanted to be a maths professor. So my ambition was to do MSc, PhD in mathematics and become a maths professor. But then somehow, my circumstances in my house forced me to put all those dreams into a dustbin. Because my mother became ill and she was laid up right from my 8th standard till I finished my CA. And I have an elder sister. She also became a she was keeping good till the age of 14. At the age of 14, she became a psychiatric patient. So circumstances at home was extremely tough. So naturally, with the two of them who has to run the show at home, laid up, and the expenses for their treatment and all, finance was also extremely tough. My father was working with the government. He was a stenographer to judge. But then those sort of all pittance, we used to get only pittance those days. So I wanted to bring up my family to a comfortable zone as far as finance was concerned. So I wanted to do something. I started thinking on what to do, but those are the days when you don't have, much of an opportunity. So you don't hear anything. And I'm a person who has done my education in Alleppey. Nowadays, Alleppey is famous for tourism, but those days it was a really dead city. Absolutely nothing. Somehow somebody told me that, CA, if you do CA, you will get a job immediately. And you will get a reasonable remuneration also. Then I started thinking about it, asking few of them. But then I had to literally fight with my father to get his concurrence for that. He said, this is not for us. We don't have the money. We don't have the luxury for doing all these things. And you are a girl. Think about it. It is 40 years back, not now. If you become a CA, I don't have the money to get you married to another chartered accountant. I am a poor stenographer, he said. But then I never ever, I always obey him, whatever he said. But that day I literally fought with him. I said, I want to be a chartered accountant, you allow me. Either you allow me, otherwise I'll go to Mumbai and earn something. You will not see me here. That frightened him literally. But again, blessings of God, I got the best chartered accountant in Alleppey, Rangamani and Company. Those who have olden days, L. Rangamani was a known name in tax audit and search and seizure cases. Everybody used to. I started under him, but his son, R. Krishnan, is the person, everybody calls him Kichappa in Alleppey. I don't know how he is known. He's the person who groomed to me to become a professional. From a very ordinary girl to professional, I owe to him. But my articleship was completed under R. Srinivasan, who was also an previous SIRC member over here. So that is the story. So I used to say, to put it in simple words, I thought that is an Arabian Ocean. CA, of course, is an Arabian Ocean, and I jumped. Then Arabian Sea. Then I understood that it's a Pacific Ocean after jumping. But then you can't fail, right? As Ravi sir was saying, we can fail in between. But if you have a target and an aim, you should reach. That's it. It's as simple as that. But then the first time I came to Chennai was to do a 4.5 months, some tuition classes and some, attending some sort of a coaching which they used to give here in the
CA
evening.
course?
Yeah, and I was in this hall those days. For the first time, I heard Bupathy sir taking classes. He was the dais, and I was attending my classes there. And I started, attending his tuition classes in Mylapore also. If I have passed taxation paper in CA, it is 100% dedicated to sir. If Bupathy sir class is not there, I would not have become a CA at all. So it was so tough for me. He made it so light that I could clear it. There I become a qualified chartered accountant. I don't know whether you got bored by it, but that's the point where I became a chartered accountant.
Not at all, ma'am. It was absolutely inspiring to hear what you're saying. So please let us know how you went into the banking sector.
That is another funny story. My family is entirely of bankers. If you take any bank, one of my relatives will be there in that bank. That is how our family is. And those were days when bank was going to computerization. I don't know how many of you will understand the impact of that. Maybe seniors only will understand. From ledgers, they were moving to computers, and wherever you see, you will see people calling Sindabad against computerization in front of any bank. I decided I'm not going to be a banker. But then after qualification, of course, I worked in a export firm, star export firm in Chithra, Travancore Maths and Mathematics, very renowned firm, for few years. After that, I was trying for job. Parallelly, I was trying for many things. Same day, I got an appointment letter for BHEL and South Indian Bank. My father decided, you are joining South Indian Bank. That's all. BHEL is a government entity, South Indian Bank is a private entity, but I never questioned him. The only day I questioned him was when he didn't allow me to join the chartered accountancy course. I obeyed, I joined. But then the understanding about banking for me was only that ledger and that counter which we saw as bankers. But then after joining, I understood that there are so many functions a professional can handle and grew up in banking. And fortunately, the management was so liberal in giving me almost all opportunities.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you there. So in your span of a career of 30 years, I think you have worked across different roles like
Yes.
credit, and you've also been the CFO, Forex,
CFO,
CFO, and
yes.
now you're the Chief Compliance Officer. So how do you think it has shaped your leadership in all these years? Each role I'm asking you.
I never ever go and ask them for any geography or a function. I don't know how they got the confidence to give me all those functions. They gave me, but then once they give me, I'll see that I'm not failing. I'll see that the interest of the organization is taken care of. In 2015, when I was posted as CCO, that was the first independent CCO posting in South Indian Bank. For that matter, a CRO, CFO, all those things were first independent is me. I mean, all those posts. So I asked my senior, sir, you don't have men over here to post as CCO. You want me only to be as a CCO? He said, you being a lady, we thought you will balance between compliance and business. And we expect that from you.
Wonderful, ma'am. Very, very, very nice to hear that.
Even as treasury dealer also, when they started treasury department in Mumbai, I was the first dealer who was posted in treasury department. And the only lady so far being in that GSEC desk for dealing. Nobody else they have posted so far. I don't know. So they gave me opportunities, and I ensured that I am not failing them, because they enter something on me. They have a expectation. If I fail, I'm failing them. That I don't do.
Thank you, ma'am. That was extremely interesting to hear. And moving on to Geetha, ma'am. Ma'am, you after qualifying as a chartered accountant, you went into IT and systems. I think from the beginning, I think you were in TCS and then Scope in your profile. From what I saw, you were never into the traditional chartered accountancy line of accounting and finance. You completely went into systems. So what actually pulled you towards that side of, because generally chartered accountants are not, I'm not saying this thing, but not many are tech savvy. So you have gone into that. Not only you went into systems, you became a cybersecurity expert, and you moved into a company like Capgemini, where you head GRC. So in global consulting. So can you just take us through what made you get into this line and how you moved into that kind of a position?
So I would just like to share, I have another common element with Chithra. One of my initial job offers was from BHEL, which for some reason I didn't take up, just like Chithra didn't take up. Destiny was somewhere else. So, it was again by chance that I landed in TCS. Those days when we passed out, the FMCG majors were, the star employers. So it was Hindustan Unilever, it was ITC and all that. So I joined ITC as what was called a finance pupil. It's the entry-level CA position for finance professionals. And I'd been to Kolkata on training. Prior to that, responding to a paper ad, I had applied for TCS. So I attended the TCS interview. I said, anyway, I'm not going to join. I'm ITC and all that was like, the dream job. But I landed in Kolkata and I was undergoing training there when the job offer from TCS came. By then I was already married. And this job offer was in TCS. My husband was here. So family said, no, why do you want to sit in Kolkata? You come here. So I said, okay. And then I came to TCS. And that's what started my journey in technology. TCS was in Chennai Center was headed by Mr. Mahalingam, who was his chartered accountant. So as a part of their hiring process, they would hire a set of chartered accountants because they believed that it was easy to teach chartered accountants the technology, and technology was always going to be evolving. Whereas what was more important is having a good grounding and understanding of business. And as many of you know, we all started with automating financial statements and books of accounts. So those were the first business processes, business applications that were being developed in whatever technologies of the day. So being a chartered accountant, that the reason we were hired is that we were able to bring that business dimension and the business input to this. And we were also given extensive training. TCS used to have almost 6 months of training called ITP 1, Initial Training Program 1, which they would cover COBOL, C, and all of those languages of those time. So that's how I ended up in technology. But every few years, I would kind of evaluate, hey, am I missing the bus not being a technology person here? And I would compare notes with my other colleagues, my fraternal folks that did CA along with me. And I certainly found the job in TCS and in technology till today extremely fascinating. It's interesting that you get to work on so many different things. It's always fluid and you have to be on your toes. And I guess that's what is mesmerizing with this industry for me.
That's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. So then how did your transition from the role in TCS or scope or whatever to cybersecurity, becoming a cybersecurity expert? What kind of, did you want to do some certification programs, or what inspired you to move ahead in the ladder?
Okay, that was again by chance. I had taken a break from my work because I wanted to spend time with my older son, who was class 10, and that class 10 board exam and all of that stuff. I was attending a CPE seminar by Mr. Vittal. And when he was talking about information security audits and all that, I spoke to him after that because I had done significant time in the industry by then, and I was taking a break, trying to figure out how to re-architect my career. And when I consulted with him and he advised me to do the CISA program, I did that, and I also worked with him. I had the privilege actually for learning several things from him. So that was what gave me the opportunity to pivot from technology, the audit and risk background, which came from the education and the preparation that CA gives you, the articleship and all of that, into managing now technology risks, cyber risks. And then, of course, I must say that I invested a lot in equipping myself for this. Well past 40, before the exam, I would have butterflies in my stomach saying, hey, why did I sign up for all this? I could have been comfortable doing whatever I was. But having signed up, it was very important for me to kind of acquire that knowledge and the certifications that proves that you know what you're talking about.
Amazing, ma'am. Like that kind of, the learning and the skill set to acquire that, a lot of effort would have gone into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
My kids used to tease me, we have no choice but to go through exams. Why are you doing it at this age? So,
Ma'am, can you just tell us about that tech program which you're heading in?
yeah. So to clarify, I'm not heading that. She Leads Tech is a program. ISACA is a global organization of which Mr. Kumar also is a member, and so we have a lot of interactions on that forum. They run, among other things, the flagship certifications of Certified Information Systems Auditors and Certified Risk Information Security Officer and all of that. So they have a program called She Leads Tech, which is essentially about encouraging more women to join the workforce, particularly in the technology risk area. So I was a part of the advisory council there, and we would have special programming and events to engage more, and just like Revati has done, bring a lot of women professionals to talk to people and get them to sign up and join these programs and become cyber risk professionals. There's a huge shortage of cyber risk professionals, and having more and more women enter that workforce would help us bridge the labor shortage.
Thank you, ma'am. Bupathy sir has a couple of questions.
First, I would like to ask a question to Chithra. I'd like to give you a brief background of this question. Many years ago, maybe 2000, I went to a bank in Muscat. It was a hall like this, and it was practically empty. And I went to meet a person, a friend of mine. He was sitting somewhere in the first floor. They called him by intercom. He came and met me, spent a couple of minutes with me, then went off. Then I asked him, what is this? The entire space is vacant. Not only one person is sitting there. Why is it so vacant? This was the question I asked him. He replied, few years back we had staff in all this building, in this place. Now with technology taking over, I'm talking about 2000, there is no need for this stuff. So we all shifted to the first floor. The ground floor we are planning to vacate and monetize it. This is what he said. Now, have we reached that stage of technology development in India as far as banks is concerned? If we have reached it, then what is the need for banks to open more branches? Now we find a sort of an unhealthy competition which is coming up in banks. If you see, people keep on calling us from different banks and asking us for their, some support, clientele reference and all, which we find it difficult to do. So if that is the case, is there a situation which you are able to foresee in the near future that the number of branches itself get reduced, everything will be centralized? And that is the argument. Even for people from the institute, we are asking the statutory audit of banks you are reducing. The banks give an answer. Since we are centralized, there is no need for these branch audits at all. This is an answer which they are giving. So if that is the case, do you feel that the number of branches itself will get reduced? This is a question which you could answer. Then I will ask a question to Geetha.
Yes, sir. I do believe that the branches, so much of branches is not required, because many of the journeys in banking is now end-to-end digital. Now the Gen Z also very familiar and very comfortable with those digital journeys. By the time we all, I'm talking about me, I another 20 years of time, nothing will be there in manual in banking. I always say I'm here for 30 years. So I saw a lot of transformations from those ledger days till we see, everything digital in office. That is 30 years of time. I'll retire in another 28 months. By the 28 months, I will see more change than I have seen in these 30 years. That is how banking is. So I definitely foresee a future where these branches are not required this much. At least consolidation has to happen.
It's actually a kind of a perfect chai pe charcha question. I would say, because then do you see people being replaced mostly by a digital transformation? Is it healthy, or how do you find it? Especially in the banking sector, I'm asking. Like you need interaction with the public also, right?
Those interactions are now more through digital channels, not personally. So if you ask me whether they'll be replaced, I don't think persons will be replaced. Only the skill sets required will be replaced.
Okay.
That's how it is. You need people still to do all these things, facilitate all those things. But then your capabilities, your skill sets, your knowledge, everything has to go on evolving. Sir asked me one more thing about audit centralization. I'll have to answer that also. I'll answer one more point again to continue with that, sir. Actually, South Indian Bank went for a centralization of statutory audit in the year 2022. Why we went was, one is all our functions were centralized. Nothing was there in branches. Nothing is there in branch to audit. So we were not getting a qualitative audit in, I'm sorry to say this, in significant number of branch audits. We will not get whatever we want. And everything is available centrally. So maybe it was a thought process and a very hard decision which we took at that point of time. We said we are going to centralize, and we centralized it in 2022. And I had to face the same question from so many chartered accountants from Kerala, where the opportunities are very less, and they all missed that branch audits. But sir, having said that, I was discussing one of our latest requirements in audit. Those things are not getting addressed. We need chartered accountants to do so many specialized audits wherein we find a lack of skill sets. Regulators will give you enough of jobs. They will say all and sundry things needs to be audited and certified by a chartered accountant. But then if you ask many practicing chartered accountants, they will say that no, we don't have the technological skills to do this. So there are opportunities. Only thing is that we need to evolve ourselves to that. So did I answer you completely?
Yes, you answered it. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, then don't you have an opportunity to interact with the regulators? Now you are telling that the regulators are framing some regulations which are incapable of being complied with. Now if that is the case, when you meet the regulators, can you not tell them this is very difficult for us to implement, and we have to think of other ways of doing it? Because they say you have to be certified, and we don't have people have the requisite qualification to do it. Then it's a stalemate.
So regulatory conversations are always one way.
Right. Okay. Good. For Geetha, just one simple thing. Whenever we are going a transformation in the technology sector, if you want to design a program which is completely 100% foolproof and then introduce it, or you have to start a program, and as and when some difficulties come, you have to address those issues. Because we have seen the income tax portal, we have gone the MCA portal, we have so many other portals which are coming up. Initially, which they came, there were a lot of mistakes and a lot of issues also. And people in the profession as well as the industry were agitated. How is it? And it's a big name involved. Big name involved. I'm not taking names. Big name involved. If that is the case, what is your view? Should you make it 100% perfect and then launch it? Or you have to do it somewhere 75%, 80% and then face it as it comes?
Good question. So I've, like Chithra madam said, she's seen the evolution of the banking from ledger books to ALPMs and where we are today. In the IT industry, I've been fortunate to be in from the very early days, at least as far as India is concerned, to where we are today. Today, speed is the need of the hour. I have worked on projects, typical business process, accounting, other business operations and functions, which would run for 1.5 years before the product would actually see the light of day. And not that it was 100% foolproof then, even after 1.5 years, it would have some bugs which we would have to fix after go live. Today, the need is, one, the business requirements are also in a state of flux. Even if the person that's giving you requirements is absolutely clear about what he wants, it keeps changing because of regulatory needs, because of other things that are happening in the environment that you would have to take cognizance of. So I think it would be near impossible to come up with a 100% clean solution. And the cost of getting to that would be, decreasing. The cost would be increasing exponentially to the rate of defects that you're identifying. So the idea is therefore to come up with what's called MVP, minimum viable product, which meets basic functionality and the needs and is good to be launched, because that serves a larger good than waiting to iron out every single defect on the system. So the process of all of these portals, which was very painful for everybody involved. My husband is in the industry, so I have a visibility into what's happening there. This is a natural part of growing up.
So it has to evolve.
It has to evolve, and all of us are contributors. I mean, even Microsoft crashes, you'll have to do a hard boot and then start. So then, what about all of these things?
Then I have a suggestion to Revati. I have a suggestion to all the regional council members. I have a suggestion to the institute as such. Whenever something new is introduced, either at the regulator level, and our institute also is a regulator. So whenever we do a large thing, introduction of something, some small things happen as it has to evolve itself. Immediately the reaction of the members are different. Different in the sense, why should they launch it without making it perfect? So there is a responsibility of the people in the council as well as in the branches to educate the members. If you wait for 100% perfection, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen, and you will always hit against a wall. This is very important. But as far as the single practitioner is concerned, if that day's problem is not sorted out for him, he is totally unhappy and he, shoots arrows in the... and how he reacts, totally different.
And now you have social media also to...
all the social... Today social media also helps. And there are people to support it also. So that chain has to be broken. The responsibility will be lying on the office bearers. You are going to various branches now to speak, address to the members. Now this point has to communicate it very forcibly and very strongly to them so that they understand the difficulties. You take, for example, even the SSV portal of the institute today. Initially when it was planned, it was not like this at all. We had people, when their date of birth was, when we moved to that, the date of birth was giving as 1928, when persons were not born at all. So somebody said, even without correcting date of birth, how did you launch it? So that type of situation comes. So if you educate them, if you keep telling them quite frequently and quite effectively enough, then it will help them. That's all. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those
you can
pertinent questions. Sir. That's nice. Geetha ma'am, can you just share a very simple yet effective GRC automation which you think, which you have practically seen or being implemented, which helped in improving contract management or whatever? Just something for us to know.
So typically I work enterprise class customers, and the scale of operations is very large. So when we're talking about automation for compliance or for everything, it starts with improving or fixing it in the business process.
Okay.
So either it could be that the ERP system is not properly configured with the appropriate controls, or it could be that the process around it is broken. We do not have the right governance structures, the organization and all of that. So the nature of the remedy could be either in the technology or in the business function that is working with the technology.
Okay.
So it's difficult to generalize what could be one use case. But for people in practice, I think there are plenty of tools and low-hanging or low-tech that is available. You're starting with, Excel macros. There's so much that you can do in terms of making your work simplified with Excel macros. There's a whole host of functionality that's available with Power, Microsoft Power Automate and all of those things, which and it's not difficult. It's not that you have to be a developer. You should have done engineering in your school days or college days to be able to do it. So much of help that's available on YouTube that you can easily, first you are the person that knows the business problem. You know what is the pain point that you're trying to address. You can find the solution.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, adding a bit on that, in that way, the certification, AI certification program which the institute is offering, so we have all attended the level 1 and we are going to attend the level 2. It was useful in that way, especially for small and medium practitioners. We came to know that there are small automations which can be implemented in our practice, and it can be very useful in saving a lot of time and in many repetitive things we do, and even in
reducing errors.
Yeah, reducing errors and things like that. So that is a very useful initiative from the institute, and in fact we are looking forward to more such thing, because when I attended the batch, I came to know that actually many of us weren't aware of many of the tools which were available. They were very simple, but still we weren't really aware of them, and it was a good initiative. I should appreciate ICAI for doing that, and we do expect more from them on that. So thank you for that, ma'am. And do you think chartered accountants' role in GRC in next 5 to 10 years, it is going to keep increasing, or it is more for the tech people or the engineers out there?
No. I think there is a very significant role for, I would broadly call it not chartered accountants, but risk professionals.
Okay.
Understanding risks in whatever, whether it is a technology implementation, whether it is an agentic AI that is being deployed, understanding the risks. Basically, as accountants, our primary job is to make sure the financial statements are true and fair.
Correct.
Right? And all the things that we do lead up to that. So as risk professionals, we have a much broader view on what can go wrong, and therefore have a very significant role to play, provided we upskill ourselves to understand. So if somebody is saying, MCP, agentic, you should be able to relate to that and see how it solves the business problem, and how it is, what are the loopholes or what could go wrong that one should be looking to.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. That's beautifully stated.
That word upskill is important.
Yes, upskilling. Yes, absolutely. And a question to you, Chithra ma'am. Where do you see the largest impact of AI in the banking sector? Which
Where
area?
did we see the impact of that, computerization? Where repetitive and monotonous things can be entrusted to something. Here also, the AI means artificial. It is artificial. It is not original.
No, probably in. I just want to know whether it is in KYC or AML or.
Many things it will come. But then still we need lot of skill and efficiencies in creating these AIs and managing this AI. Now, when computerization came, we thought everything is solved. It is not. We have enormous work in cybersecurity. We have enormous work in cyberspace.
I think just to add to what Chithra said, no, having a clear understanding of your functional requirements is key. And that is where the ability to see the big picture, understand what's the problem we are trying to solve, which I must say that our profession very well prepares us. Because we have this period of articleship, which is not there in any other
Correct. The practical
mode of
training
study.
we get, yes.
Yeah, and then you take the exam, means that, you're not just theoretically learning something, but you are actually having seen that, done that, and you're applying maybe not all of what you're saying in the exam, but most of what it is, and conceptually, understand what's happening. So, the garbage in, garbage out, GIGO. So if you don't understand what you want to do, you can bring in agentic, you can bring in computerization, you can bring in something. It will be as bad or as with poor results as it was earlier. So clear understanding of that business, to be able to articulate what you want from the automation is important for us to get that success.
Can I add something on that? Yes. Sorry, you got a just add on that. The role of finance professionals in IT related areas. That's what you are asking. Data analytics, technology, accounts, finance, all these things together. There's a company which is manufacturing a product, adhesives for retreading of tires. Now, when it is manufacturing their product, it has got a limited capacity. It could manufacture only this much tons. All of us are aware that GST was the toll gates. After the introduction of GST, the toll gates across India was removed. They did data analytics. The number of days the trucks stand in the toll gate. On an average, it will be about 3 or 4 days or 1 week per month. Once the toll gates are removed, the operational impact of these vehicles will go up. The wear and tear of the tire will go up. The need for retreading will be there. The demand for adhesives will go up. They have limited capacity. Within 3 days of abolition of the toll gates, the technology people, the finance person, and the chartered accountant, whoever is there, all came together, analyzed the data, and said the demand for adhesives will go up by this percentage. We have got a capacity limitation of this much. We have to expand. They expanded, they got the demand, and they are able to encash it. Early bird incentive.
Yeah.
If you enter early, you could get encash on it. So where finance could take, if not for the finance person there to tell this, if not for the technology person to devise this, it would not happen. Therefore, you have to work hand in hand in such type of situations. Come back. Okay. You have a couple of questions, then I will come back one more on technology after some time, because the chat, everyone should chat. Okay.
That was extremely insightful, sir. Thank you. Just one question. Any one of you can answer that. Any difficult situation which evolved in your experience with regulatory compliance, or it can be ethical dilemma or whatever, like you can just, one of you can take it, and which you faced and you feel that it was a very difficult situation in your professional careers, and the way you handled it.
Every moment
Yes,
is difficult.
Mike.
Every day is difficult, every moment is difficult. If there is no difficulty, there is no requirement of you in that place. But then, as a banker, 2 tough times which I faced was, one is during demonetization, second is during COVID days. But then, you will have to think through and to execute. At those difficult times, the main point is to take your team along with you, or rather, you being along with the team, to make them feel that you are not a boss. You are one amongst them.
I'm thinking, because while there are general challenges, nothing really calls out. First of all, I don't deal directly with regulators. I'm just dealing with business people.
You are very fortunate.
Such is the nature of my job. Other than that, no, I'm sorry. I don't have anything.
Sir, you can go ahead with the tech-related question you had.
You see, in a large corporate entity, there are very senior key man persons who are paid a very high salary. Their time should be effectively utilized. And if it is not utilized, then the company loses. So I understand there is a technology today, particularly people who are in the marketing line. Okay, if somebody enters a mall, as and when they enter the mall, their mobile is connected with the general server or whatever it is. Technically, I am not able to explain that. And after he enters the mall, he goes into a store, a Samsung store, and asks for a tablet. He spends 1.5 hours there. Then he moves in the mall, and from there he comes to the i4 store. All this information that this gentleman has entered the mall on this time, he has gone to the Samsung and asked for a tablet. He spent 1.5 hours there. All this information is made available to the iPhone store person. And then he knows he is a serious customer. He knows that he is interested in tab or a tablet, and he gets all the things ready, and the senior most marketing manager of the company addresses him, talks to him, convinces him, and concludes a sale. That is the level of artificial intelligence in corporate sector to get the optimum usage of the high paid employees. So more such things will happen. And that's how it will.
Most of the times, in fact, we feel we are constantly monitored.
Yeah, yes.
You speak to somebody about some particular brand or something, the next moment you scroll your phone, you can see that coming on the.
Few days back, maybe 4 or 5 days back, I was invited for an event which one leading, magazine, Vanitha, you might have heard in Malayalam Manorama group. They invited me for a speech for 10 minutes. So my PA gave them a very big, biodata, much bigger than this. I said, no, that is not required. I gave hardly 3 or 4 lines to them. But then they spoke about me there, which was very relevant and correct, which I have not given to them. So after coming back, I told my team that they spoke it. I don't know where they got it. Then my team brought them, they put my name and South Indian Bank and then put AA on that. They showed me so many things which I have done in office. I never speak about so many things, and I think that it's my duty and I should do it. But I don't tell it to the world. But then so many things were there in that.
So based on all your previous interactions, other things, it has
condemned. I said, don't go ahead. I don't want to see furthermore. That's the level.
So it has given your profile in a condensed
everything, whatever I have done in this thing. What
very
is my strength?
Sometimes it's scary as well.
Scary. I didn't continue that. I stopped there. Sorry.
Yes.
So did you have a question at the end of it?
The iPhone deal, which was after the Samsung and iPhone. You said
there's no question. I just made as an observation.
Okay.
That technology has gone to this level.
It's pervasive.
We must also use such type of technology in our day-to-day life.
I think there are questions about privacy to be answered.
That leads to privacy.
If there is surveillance which tracks, where a person is, and if he goes to a mall during business hours, you certainly don't want the employer to be hearing about it. So there's this very thin line where you go, what is the extent of personalization that you would like to have, or that enterprises would like to have, and how much you are willing to give up, right? So we're not having much of a choice in the matter. Whichever phone you're using, whether it is on the Android system or on the Apple iPhone system, every move is watched, just like SHUBA said. So there's, while it can be lauded as saying, okay, we are doing the best, we are harnessing the best of technology, we also have to be mindful. And these are also considerations that come into play when we are building AI systems. In fact, a lot of companies are taking ChatGPT and the others to court because they're kind of scraping all the assets that have been put out on the web over so many years now to build and train their databases. Particularly the media companies, the newspapers, they're complaining because they have certainly invested a lot in building up their reporter network, collating data and then presenting it. And for all of the LLM models to come there, scrape everything and to ingest that and to be able to give, like she just said, right, her complete story, even some incidents and events that she may not remember, it is there somewhere in the digital world. And if it's somewhere there, it gets picked up and can be used at a time that is appropriate. So again, like Sir mentioned, right, it's about having a cross or a multidisciplinary team. And as risk professionals, we can certainly have a big role to play. We may not understand, what technology is being used, but we understand what is the impact of technology and what's the risk that it poses or the risk that it addresses.
So yeah, that's why we say that's a boon and bane of technology. So in fact, even in the banking sector, we come across so many frauds happening, cyber frauds. So all that also needs to be, constantly some things have to be done to ensure that is minimized.
Yeah. And now banks are asked to pay up also.
It is not a question of, I'm managing anti-money laundering, that function. Of course, we closely interact with FRM also. FRM is fraud risk management. Thieves are always ahead of police. So the question is how close you are to them. That's the question. Okay, you can't avoid it. It will happen. But the more closer you are to them, the more easier you, earlier you catch them, you are better. That's all.
The damage is lesser.
Even anti-money laundering, I started AML overseeing last year. Last year, mule pattern was different. This year, the pattern is entirely different.
Very innovative and
very innovative.
Today's business standard carries a headline: the video blackmailing thing, which cannot be really stopped. It will continue in more sophisticated manner.
The digital arrest, sir, talking about that.
Digital arrest, yes. They are saying you are arrested and all these things.
Yes.
So many things happening. Some people have lost
crores of money have been extorted. Digital arrest scam.
So even technology, they are not able to stop this. So as you said, it will continue. You have to live with it.
Yeah, correct.
Then in cybersecurity, again to the point that Sir raised at the beginning, it is not possible to prevent every incident or a cyber risk from happening. It's more about being able to, one, identify it as quickly as you can. So your incident management procedures, your crisis management procedures are extremely critical. And then being able to take that corrective action. I mean, you shouldn't be in a situation that somebody's been defrauding you for months and you come to know after a lot of things has been. So,
but won't the larger multinationals have some preventive measures?
Of course, we would have to have.
But despite that, you say that there will be situations where you might have to.
It is because those preventive measures you have lesser frauds. Otherwise, it would have been a very, laughing situation.
Okay. Fine, ma'am. Slightly moving on from your professional expertise and other things, I just want to ask you about how realistically, in being in such high pressure and high level jobs, how realistically work life balance works for you. Both of you. I want both of you to give your insights on that. I think all of us would like to hear that. What does it mean?
So one of our leaders quoted a couple of days back saying, first let's get work and then, life will come after that. It is a tough act and you need a lot of support. It is a lot more tougher today for young professionals in industry than it was when I started out. Because when we started out, whatever your working hours, 8 hours, you finish work, you come home, and then you attend to your housework and whatever else that was interesting to you. Today, with the proliferation of technology, everybody's mobile, everybody's got a laptop, and we are working with international customers across different time zones. So many a time we are required to be available, either starting with Australia hours, going up to the US, more west, because that's where a lot of business comes from. Important in all of that is making that time for yourself. It's like where this expression that you have in Tamil, right? Samudram onju snanam pandra mari. So you're never going to get to a state where the waves will pause. That allows you to. So you have to be clear, like she said, have that target or the priorities and work to your priorities. Otherwise, we'll get swamped. Like I said, it was easier for us when we started out, but it's not so easy right now. For both, I see that in practicing professionals as well as in industry. You have to be clear about what you want to do and where you want to spend your 24 hours. It's very easy to get swamped up in work and to keep absorbing all that work that is pushed onto you, particularly if you are a reasonably good, intelligent thinking person on the job. You get pushed down with a lot of work. Like Chithra ma'am was, she is doing a great job, so she was given all those different roles. But you also have to figure out, the time for physical activity in your lifestyles, developing some interest outside of work. It could be anything. That's what allows you to complete your professional. You will be contributing much better at work if you are able to spend time for all this.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you. And Chithra ma'am.
When everybody talks about work-life balance, I'll say we wanted a life. We started working for that.
That's
as simple as that. So many, female colleagues come and talk to me about their difficulties. I'll tell them, we wanted some earnings, assured earnings at the end of the month. We are supposed to work. We are supposed to sacrifice something and work. So if you ask me, I'll say that I sacrificed enormous things in my life. Even now, I don't have a social life at all. Beyond my official place and my home, where I do end-to-end work. People will not believe. I start putting column in front of my house in the morning and finish it with cleaning my vessels and kitchen. But of course, my husband is very supportive and he also takes part in all the activities. But then we do end-to-end. But beyond that, we don't have any existence. He has his own academic passions and he follows that. I also follow mine. But then there is no social life. No cinema. I still remember when Bupathy sir told us that during our classes, I don't watch cricket. I was thinking, somebody is there like me. Okay. I don't watch cricket. I don't watch anything else. I mean, it is only office, from office to home. So if you ask me whether I am bored, I'll say no. Because I am passionate about both.
Very, very, very well said, ma'am. Absolutely.
And you need to take, my message to everybody is that whether it is gents or ladies, you need to take care of your families as well. Because if you are in trouble, the only people who will support you is your family.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely correct.
take care of them very well, including your extended family of in-laws and grandparents. I've done that.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice. So, like in extreme stressful or busy or burnout periods, is there any stress buster for you? Like, what do you just do apart from your you said that you are completely tied up with the work at home, but something, there must be something. You listen to music or you paint or something. Just to tell us.
First thing is shouting each other.
It's always there, ma'am. I think that's there in every household.
Bursting on your part. Of course, for me it is
Sudoku. Hobby. I'm just asking.
Sudoku, which unwinds all those thoughts in me. I love Kannadi music and I have learned a little bit and I sing also.
That's
so
nice.
music is really soothing for me. Either
Very nice.
I sing or I get indulged in some physical activity where there is no need of so much of intelligence. So, I
don't
do
need to
something mechanically which reduces my stress.
Very nice.
In Kerala, we will remove that this one outer covering of coconut. That also I do.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Ma'am, Geetha ma'am, your hobbies?
Oh, I've recently taken up crochet because I wanted something that was non-tech. But usually at the end of the night, and my days are very long, I either look up for Ayyo Shraddha, YouTube videos, Certified Rascals, or something that is light and humorous before I go to bed, because that helps me switch off. Going into bed, closing my laptop, I have all these 100 emails, 100
I think Certified Rascals, would really help you connect with your thing.
I love that.
Unwind in another way. Yeah, that's right.
So I watch some of these comedy videos, not much on movies or other things. Music, yes, but not
You
a train.
were a cricketer in college, so do you still
Like we
play
were.
or-
Yeah.
and,
I watch.
watch?
I watch. Sometimes.
Follow.
I mean, I don't have the time or the patience to be sitting for 3 hours, but I certainly
Much
watch
of cricket.
I watch all sports, tennis, cricket, everything that is on at home. I watch.
That's nice. Nice. And then any one specific habit you would like to recommend for young chartered accountants to, pick up, despite their busy schedules when they are getting into a job or
I
before,
think
whatever.
physical
they-
activity is extremely important because our lives are so sedentary. We are glued to our desk seats for 9, 10, 12 hours, and I would strongly urge everyone. I tell my team members also. So what did you do today? What's your daily routine? Do you do yoga? Do you do gym? Do you go for a walk? Do you go for a run? Whatever. That is something that I think we should make the time for to manage stress, to be able to have a more work-life balance or better work-life balance.
Managing your household itself is a physical activity.
Yes.
People are not doing it.
Not
Correct.
That's one part of it, Chithra ma'am, but I think it is also important to
need
go
to also,
out and
Consciously take time out to work out probably.
But then
yeah.
If you're really involved, you involve yourself in that and do it. It is definitely a stress buster. No doubt about it.
No, but we have seen so many senior executives, if they sit in office, they are relatively appear to be very free. They're always available for people. Always. How is it they are able to manage time? If you go into their life cycle, you will find that they identify the right person for the right job. That time they spend to identify the right person. And second, they delegate.
Yeah.
And third, they have trust in them and they expect the performance. If these three things happen, then you could have a little time as you go higher and higher up the ladder. And you should be really at the macro level. You should start thinking what are the risks for the entire organization as a whole, how to address those risks and do it. And that's what we do in boards also.
Yeah.
I will not know the nitty-gritties of the rules and all, I will not know. But a macro level understanding of the business, how is it, how it will impact, any regulations or geopolitics things happening, I will try to guide them. You take care of this, you will suggest, that's how they have to do. Otherwise, you will not.
I think that's how you stand out as an exceptional leader, sir.
Thank
At the
you.
end of the day, I think.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
It's out there. That's what they say. No, if you want to get a thing done, Give it to a busy person, he will do it.
Yeah, correct.
He will do it.
The trust and confidence in your team is very important.
Okay, ma'am, some quick questions. One or two on technology and others will be personal. I don't want to term it as a rapid fire, but yeah, fine. You can alternate and take it, or any one of you can. So, in your view, what is one thing technology will never be able to replace in our profession? I mean the CA profession.
Love and affection.
Now, I'd say critical thinking. Critical thinking is something that humans will always possess, no matter how much of intelligence you build in the AI systems. The awareness and the perception of what's happening, and to be able to take, maybe right, maybe wrong.
Yes.
You may make the wrong decisions if you're, but that is.
If AI could take over one tedious task, so you never have to, what would you choose? It can be anything.
Mike.
Possibly preparing policies.
Preparing policies. Okay.
It's a very painful problem. Nobody reads, then policy should be there.
So, in your experience, what is tougher, handling people or data? Managing.
Data is often poor, but handling people is difficult.
Tough.
Because there are different kinds. I won't say it's tough. It's just that you have to adjust to every situation and every person that you're working with.
Each one is different.
So, what is one common mistake you see young professionals make due to too much reliance on technology?
Logical thinking is logical thinking
That is lost, is it?
and practical decision making.
Yes. Geetha ma'am, one habit that has helped you succeed?
A curious mindset and a willingness to take challenges.
Lovely. Okay. Chithra ma'am, any one book or any one podcast or something which you would want to recommend? Or which impacted you?
Generally, I'm not a follower. I always say I don't dance to anybody's music. I do have my own, thinking, and I follow that. So far, I have succeeded also. But then, I don't say you follow one person. I always say you follow persons who have succeeded consistently in their life. Like Sudhamurthy, Narayanamurthy, Tata, so on and so forth. So many.
Very many inspiring personalities. Yes.
If I may answer that.
Yes, ma'am, please.
So, I like some of these YouTube videos or podcasts that are slightly long drawn, because I don't like this Insta kind of thing where there is too much, too little.
Shorts or reels kind of.
I like listening to Diary of a CEO. This is a British person,
Okay.
and he interviews people from different domains.
Okay.
Finance, business, health professionals, and all of that. So I've thoroughly enjoyed many of his videos. I also like listening to Acquired on podcasts, because these are like 4 to 6 hours videos. So it's good when I'm driving
So
up
when you're
to
driving,
work.
yes.
So they really drill down deep into different topics. So you get a much better perspective than, going through news, because the news is, today he'll tell you something, whatever he thinks he wants you to hear. Tomorrow it will be something else that is happening elsewhere. Or newspapers also these days are really focused. So some of these podcasts go into a level of detail, and I love these two as podcasts. A book that I recently read, it's a couple of years ago also, Ikigai, find your
Japanese, yes.
So I like that because there were a couple of good principles and takeaways from that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for those
Just
recommendations.
add on one book.
Yes,
There's a book titled Good to Great.
Yeah, I know.
Good to Great is a very celebrated
John
book.
Collins. Yeah.
It is authored by
Yeah.
very few eminent people in US. What they have done is they have surveyed 50 large multinational companies which have survived for more than 50 years.
Yeah.
And what is it they did for sustenance for more than 50 years?
Yeah.
And they have tabulated it and they bought it in the form of book, in the form of question answer discussion type. It's a very useful book.
Yeah.
One should read.
I have read that book, sir.
I have seen
Jim Collins.
That's a good book.
It's a good
The second thing you said, work-life balance. The book I would suggest is Thomas Harris, I am okay, you're okay. I am okay, you're
Classic.
okay. And there they will say, once you are in office, you think about office. When you leave office and go home, apply the switch on and switch off technique. Switch it off and think. But today that is not happening. As you also mentioned, that it's not happening because we carry work from home, office to home.
Yeah.
This is a major problem.
If not a CA, what you would have chosen? I think ma'am said she wanted to do a PhD in Max. I would want to hear from you.
I don't think I would have gone anywhere else because, like you, I'm like second generation. My uncle was a CA. He said, do CA. I said, yes. And then the technology job just kind of happened. So,
Ma'am, Chithra ma'am, one word or a line that describes your leadership style.
I give enormous space, but I watch them very closely. I catch them if they are diverting from the correct path. Otherwise, they are given enormous space.
Okay. Fine, ma'am. Tea or coffee?
tea person.
How about you, ma'am?
I was not drinking either before my marriage. But after marriage, my mother-in-law told me, you are not drinking coffee, that is why you don't have strength. So I started drinking coffee
Okay, so
in the morning and tea in the evening to ensure that there is peace at home.
Yes, sir. How
Now
about
I
you,
follow
sir?
that.
Work-life balance.
How about you, sir?
Which one?
Tea or coffee?
Coffee. I take coffee.
Anyway, so one last question to all of you, sir. Even you can take it. So the CA profession, it will remain relevant as long as, how do you want to complete the sentence?
As long as there are risks, which is going to be forever, as risk professionals, we always have a role to play. It is just reinventing ourselves for the need of the day.
As long as the world is there. Only thing is that you should adapt to the new requirements. That's all.
Sir?
See, with technology coming in, more number of businesses are coming, more number of business disruptions also taking place.
Yes, sir.
So when disruption takes place, there should be somebody with a human hindsight to come and tell what you should do, what you should not do. So the CA profession, which is good at numbers, number crunching, and also analysis of the data, CA profession will continue to be relevant. But as they said, you have to add on to it whatever is the requisite skills required
Upskilling.
to
Yes,
be a full and complete CA.
thank you. Thank you.
And it will continue forever.
Thank you. Thank you so much for generously, sharing your thoughts. I just want to throw it open to the audience. If you have any questions, you can just come up with that. We can take a few of them. Any questions, anyone? Like, you can just raise your hand if you want we can send the mic. I think nobody has questions. Fine. So I think we can, you have a question? Yes, Soumya.
So when Geetha ma'am said, I felt it really hard. Like you said, many a times I think, why am I doing this? So, like, as a young chartered accountant and as a woman, that thought usually very frequently touches. So how to overcome the self-doubt and how you have handled the self-doubt phase and climbed up the corporate ladder?
Soumya, it is not so much about self-doubt as about assessing what we are doing and whether it is aligned with what our long-term goals are. So, for example, if you're swamped in a project, and I'm saying this from a work point of view, look at that and say, hey, you know what, I'm not spending any time with my family, as Chithra said, right? So is this what I want to do? Where should I see the end of this? Where do I draw the balance between saying, yes, I need to be conscious of my obligations to the role that I'm playing in the enterprise versus my my need for family time and all of that. So it's not so much about self-doubt. It's about assessing where you are and how much, if you're not in a very good position, right? How much more you're willing to take that. So you're saying, okay, I can probably do this for another 3 months, 6 months. Then I have to look for something different to do because I can't sustain in this, 15-hour, 20-hour work days or whatever. So not so much from a self-doubt, but as in taking stock of where you are and whether you're headed in the right direction. Thank you.
No, that thought process of why am I doing this will be with everyone who wants to, improve, go ahead in their journey. So it's only it's a self-introspection. If some correction is required, do it and go ahead. But you should not stop. That fear, how you overcome by doing it. That's all. Simple.
Yeah, I just have one question to both of you, 2 different questions. One is to Geetha. I know that she comes from a family of chartered accountants, a very well-established firm. You could have taken the easy route, been an Nepo baby and joined practice, but you opted to climb the corporate ladder. That is for you. And for Chithra ma'am, you said that, you had a very tough life, a very tough childhood. And I think that pushed you into achieving this professional thing. At any point in time, I mean, you come across as a person who's totally in control of your life and the path which you have chosen. Any point in time, self-pity overtook you and, kind of was an obstacle in your growth? 2 different questions. I thought I'll ask them both together.
Self-pity.
No.
To me. Yeah.
To you is you had a very tough childhood and you had a lot of tough choices to make. You stood up to your father and told him you want to do CA. But still, that journey, the tough journey is what has shaped you. But at any point in time, did self-pity become an obstacle to your growth? It was rather a factor to your growth,
No.
pushed you.
Self-pity was not.
It was not.
I always wanted to overcome challenges I always wanted to overcome whatever are all the challenges in front of me. The challenges which I had 40 years back are not there in front of me now, but I have different challenges now. Every time I want to overcome. I always say, if I don't have at least 4 or 5 tigers in front of me, then that day I am very disturbed.
So for me, I think the decision was very simple. At that point in time, I thought it was more lucrative to be working in companies than being in practice. So that's where I started. You have college friends and all, they're all working and they're making money, and here you're getting 150 rupees stipend in those days. So it was a bit of a bummer.
So thank you once again, both the speakers for.
One question, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, in the course of the conversation, you were saying that there is a need and skill gap relating to statutory audits when you were mentioning that a lot of bank branch audits were lost and our fellow colleagues from the fraternity. But you said about a need and skill gap. There are some specialized needs for banking, but it stopped at that. So if you can enlighten the audience on what are the other skill sets which you're looking for, I think it would be very helpful. Thank you.
I mean, when we were having a conversation, I was saying about now all regulators are coming out with a requirement that all customer facing systems should be disably friendly to all disabilities. We don't know what are all things which we have to. And they say that after we equipping our systems like that, one auditor has to go through it and certify that yes, everything is there. If we search the entire world, hardly few of them are there. And if you ask me about the existing things, reconciliation, we don't have. Lot of payments are going up and down through multiple channels. We need to reconcile on a T+1 basis. There are so many other things. I mean, if you can come visit my CIV, who is in charge of vigilance and inspection, and GM operations, who is handling plethora of operations. There are a lot.
Anyone else?
The skill sets which you want to do all these things is direct slicing of data, handling data. Enormous data you should be able to handle and come out with insights.
Yeah, Chithra ma'am actually. I'm a first generation chartered accountant, started practicing quite recently. So just wanted to understand what are the opportunities we can look into, and what are the skill sets as it's an extension to what ma'am has said. What are the specific skill sets we should focus and develop so that it will be will be of some help to banks, as well as we can also grow our career in our district.
That is what banking is evolving like anything. So when I say few skill sets today, tomorrow it will not be the same. So you need to update yourself with the regulations which are coming. The expectations regulated entities has to face from the regulators, and they will ask. They don't want to do it themselves. They will ask all chartered accountants to do that, especially statutory auditors, right from checking the gold and ensuring purity. Where a chartered accountant doesn't have a skill set, they will ask the chartered accountant to certify. For example, internal office accounts. Internal office accounts is, I hope you understand what is internal office accounts, right? Whatever is not a customer's account is internal office accounts. We have thousands of them. So they say there should be minute audit on the internal office accounts. There are hardly very few chartered accountants who can do that. So you need lot of skill sets on systems, on data handling.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again to both the speakers. It was really a very interesting and wonderful session. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, and special thanks to Bupathy sir. So you made this whole interaction much more interesting and insightful, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think formally we can conclude this Chai Pe Charcha session.
No, nothing specific. I'll just speak like this. I will not take time, just a minute or so. It is said that to be born as human beings itself, not all are blessed for being born as human beings. You have to take so many avatars to be a human being. And after being a human being, to get good education, to be born in a good family, still a smaller number of people. Of the smaller number of people who have got good education, who have done CA, very less. And among the CA fraternity, the people who have assembled here to listen to these two people are very, very minuscule people, and you are the lucky people. That's all I would say. Only one thing I would like to add. There are difficulties in life. Even difficult things could be sorted out with a touch of humor. With technology coming in big way, I find that people have losing the ability to smile and laugh. That is the thing, you have to take exercise. Somebody has to teach you smile. Somebody has to teach you laugh. Kumar is here. He will remember, and of course Chithra and Geetha also will remember. If it is subject, it will not be only subject. I always used to have a habit. Any session of mine, whether it is member session or for student session, the first 5 minutes, I will not speak on the subject proper. It will be generic. it will be generic. And if I have to teach today the way I taught earlier, will be terribly handicapped because of artificial intelligence. Why I am telling you that is, I had the facility of listening to the radio in my car when I come for the sessions. That day's update will come, that day's, some leading personality's birthday will be there. So that 5 minutes which I speak will be on those things. But today what will happen is, before I know, they will know. So I am physically handicapped because of that, or it's very difficult. So what I am trying to say is only one small thing. Chithra did mention it in a different way. Enjoy what you are doing and bring out your best. If you start self-pitying, if you start always complaining, oh, this is so tough, it's strenuous on me, it impacts my work-life balance, definitely it will be a pain for you. If you start enjoying, it will be good for you. One thing about work-life balance, they said, what I am concerned, what I am deeply concerned, when both father and mother are going for work, the next generation, the subsequent generations, what is the suggestion you could give to them? Because world is becoming very complex. Schools and colleges turn out to be not very safe places. Children are alone. Parents' concentration on them is less. Then there is every possibility of the children going different ways. So somewhere, I know it's a difficult thing, very challenging. We have to find time for that. That will be a critical aspect of work-life balance. We are facing husband and wife working together, and both of them are highly successful in their respective fields. Highly successful. They accomplish great things in life. Okay? So that is where it's challenging. You have to take care of that. Once you take care of that, it's fine. And as far as the high achievers are concerned, high achievers is okay. But women acquiring high achievers position is something great. I would say men acquiring high status or achievements in life is good, but women acquiring it is something more than good, it's great. So we would like to acknowledge those two people for achieving this and spending so much of their time here. Thank you very much. I enjoy
this in a very different statement. I always used to tell my office team, I tell often that I don't have a wife at home.
I don't know.
I don't have a wife at home.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I now request CA K. Ravi, sir, past chairperson of SIRC of ICAI, to speak a few words.
To those of you who want to know a lot more on technology, Geetha Jayaraman kept on speaking about physical activity. Every morning she is on a walk at Arepuram, and let her know that I'm. So therefore, accost her in the morning walk, you will know. But for me, where do I get my technology? Updates on technology. There is a Sangeeta in Arepuram, those of you who know about it. There's one group which we meet where Ramkumar Ramurthy, the former managing director of Cognizant, comes and sits there. He tells us a lot of things. But if those of you who are not able to get into all these things, on artificial intelligence, Sriram Raghavan, who is the head of IBM, on artificial intelligence from the US came and spoke. That talk is available on Chennai International Center's website. Please listen to him. Fantastic. I keep going for all these meetings, and that leads me to the next point is, if you have come here, you should keep attending all these meetings. I'm not saying all of them will be great. I'm not saying that. But many of them will add value to your life. So therefore, if these people can achieve something, all of you can achieve. There's nothing that you cannot achieve and that only they can achieve. It's just that you make a course correction in your life at some point in time. As a piece of information, Nitin Paranjpe, the chairman of Unilever, is here in Chennai on 14th February 2026. He'll talk at the Palkewala Foundation, those of you who are interested. Give confidence to everybody. Give confidence. I believe in giving confidence to anybody. I'll give you, somebody took the name of P.R. Vittal. P.R. Vittal, I saw him in Apollo Hospital one day.
Not P.R. Vittal.
I'm sorry. Okay, then you spoke about Vittal Raj. Then, as far as the bank branches is concerned, somebody asked, I think Bupathy made the comment that if you travel, I've traveled. Therefore, I'm saying this. From Guwahati on the front, banking industry had not really penetrated. Therefore, the object of the government was we must first get a bank there so that people understand that there is some place where you can put your money, take your money. And technology had not made so much of advances. How many of you, incidentally, TTV Dinakaran, when he contested that RK Nagar by-election, he made his people carry that cooker on his head. Do you know there was a study done on it, why he did it, and he did it specifically? Because the penetration of smartphones was only 6% in that constituency. He said people don't have a smartphone, so I can't use the social media to propagate myself, and therefore he said physically it will work. Many things work on physical. Eye contact is far more important than merely technology. But technology will take us places, and I'm very sure that in maybe another 2-3 years, the number of banks will get reduced. I anticipate it to come to about 5 or 6 banks across the country, at least the nationalized banks. So the private banks will give enough competition. And wherever you can, Uday Kotak recently also spoke about Adi Godrej acquiring that, what's that, Good Night. That videos are available. I keep watching all these things because they definitely give you a lot of information and insights into why many things happened. Work-life balance. Work-life balance can happen if you take all your people into confidence at home, saying that this is what you want to achieve, and therefore this is where you will be able to participate on the domestic front. If you don't take them into confidence, is where the problem arises. Take them into confidence. They will be part of your life. I'll take... we often... men... There's a term called MCP. My good friend Revati likes it. Male chauvinistic pig. We all think we are superior to the women. Sorry. They are as much capable of achieving and probably a little more. If you give them that space at home and say, look, you want to do this, please go ahead. Tell me what support you want from me. I will give you that. They will achieve. I don't have to travel very far at home. I'm talking of my domestic front. When I got married, Pakka arranged marriage, when she came home for the first time, my father told her, all her people had also come, a lot of them, 10-15 of them had come. He said, you are the only person who's merely a graduate. In this house, everybody is postgraduate plus. So for heaven's sake, get yourself educated. Kitchen, somebody else is there to take care. My mother, my grandmother, everybody was there. She did her law, university first, all subjects highest. Then she did her CA, both intermediate and final. She wrote from what was then called Devkia Hospital. About 10 years back, she did her B.Ed in special education, again topping the list. Where did it all come from? I was not an achiever in life. Got 51% in high school. My father's influence got me the seat that I wanted. But the point I'll drive home, and I should like to drive this to many of my younger friends who are here. Don't ever put a block. And I had put a block. My father said, pre-university life, if you get a first class, I will shift you to Bombay. And Chennai had no co-education at that time. Madras did not have, as it was called. Bombay, it was co-education barring Sophia College for Women. You're in a fine co-education society here, life is made. And he also said, I'll get you a scooter to go to college. Mind you, those days, Lambretta and Vespa were the only two scooters. Vespa was 14 years waiting. Lambretta was 11 years waiting. I got a first class. Never looked back again to get a first class. Never. So what did it show? That I had the potential. I was not willing to put it on the table. Everybody has a potential here. If somebody believes he does not have potential, come to me, I'll show you where your potential is. Don't believe that you have no potential. Everybody has potential, great potential. You must aim to be the best. Don't aim to be also ran case. And look at that small space which you will get to be the best. Technology must be adopted. We are not creators of technology. We can never. For that, you need a different mindset and a different background in education. But if you can learn to adopt technology and look at that everything is available on the net. There is nothing that is not available on the net. Everything is available. Today, all of us carry an iPad. Liquid text is the best material for you to use and make your own notes and things like that on anything. My iPad is always, when I leave the house, the iPad is in the car. I listen to something or do something. I don't waste my time. There is a small request I will make to my... Okay, come back to, one more aspect of this I must mention, and I like to mention about it. It's called self-praise. I like to praise myself. I got 49%, 51%, my younger brother got 49%. So I was slightly better than him, more educated. He changed his life. All of you, some of you may, the Ammi Koyavirkam, the Kalla Pudna. He said, I should never look back. He struggled. Ultimately, about 10 years back, he said, Ravi, I'm giving up my job. He was the managing director of Verizon Health Services in the US. Verizon is one of the largest conglomerates in the world. He never looked back. I tell myself, if he can achieve this, I could have achieved more. And therefore, I set myself a target. In 2023, I completed my post-graduation in law from Jindal Global. Huh? I did my LLM from Jindal Global. Even today, I want to do something else. If Jayalakshmi sponsors me, I'll do it. The other thing which I would like all of you to sort of cultivate in you is to create relationships. Tomorrow morning, if I see her on the road, I'll greet her. She'll avoid me. That's a different matter. But greet her. You build relationships. Once you build relationships, you can take that forward for... Don't ask for anything. Don't ask for a personal favor. Never. Never. It will automatically come. It will automatically come. But build relationships. It will show you so many things. Somebody someday will tell you, look, this kind of an opportunity, my friend was asking, this kind of an opportunity is available. Why don't you look at it? But are we ready for it? I have a different answer to it, which I would not like to say something now. Aim to be the best in whatever you're doing. And choose that small, narrow area. Today, in the, people go all over the world for international tax advice. But at least in the western part of the world, and probably today in Delhi also, any top industrialist, if he wants an advice on tax, in particular international tax, he'll go to every firm and take an advice and opinion, which will come with 40 pages and 38 pages of disclaimer. The one thing that he does, and this is something which Yogesh Sir told me personally, Bansi Mehta and Company. They call him, they take an opinion. Evening, he sends that opinion in writing. He says, this is the question he asked. He's the final word. How did it happen? I asked myself this question. But we must all be ready to invest in ourselves. I told Revati, come to Delhi. Because there was a meeting happening. I think 6th of last month, right? 6th of October. I wanted her to hear somebody on artificial intelligence. She's still struggling to get him here. Not easy. I have the technology for getting him here. Because I know something more about him. That's something which you must always... There is some other secret. For example, if you take Bupathy, he's always well dressed. Tie. You'll find him. This is the way. This is the way I am made. I will not change myself. But if you excel in your profession, believe me, every door will open. There is no door which will not open. There is no door which will not open. It will open a little late, it will open a little earlier, but it will open. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I would sincerely plead with all of you to spend time on yourself in terms of knowledge acquisition. And knowledge should not be merely what a chartered accountant should do, something little more than that. When Shailesh Haribhakti in Delhi was speaking on chips, semiconductor industry, I was wondering, where did this fellow get so much from? I was really wondering. I said, boss, come to Chennai and speak. And work-life balance, I'll come to one more final thought. If you come with somebody said Mamyar. I'm one of those proud fellows who says, look, I got my in-laws also to stay with me. When my parents were there, and all of them joined to hit me. That's all right. Life is like that. At 87, my mother-in-law is still with me. And I'm very proud of it. Because if you get the mother-in-law, see the beauty of it. My wife took excellent care of my mother and my grandmother in their last days. It automatically will happen. You don't have to tell her, look, because she knows you are taking care of her parents. Plan everything. Whatever you want to do in major. I built a 5,000 square feet ground 1 and 2 in 4.5 months. Can anybody believe it? Planning went into it. 1.5 years of planning. 4.5 months. From the day the foundation stone was laid, I had done the Graha Pravesam and walked into the house. Finally, never give up in life. Fight. You will succeed. I have a son who is 40. Special child, autism. You would have seen her probably in the morning. He's 40. Never walked till he was 2.5. I did some religious matters. He suddenly started walking. Put against the wall, the fellow will fall. If I had given up on him, which the doctor told me, give up on him, put him in a home, look at the next child. There's nothing to it. At the age of 16, he became the national roller skating champion. Thanks to a lady. I didn't do anything. High achievers. All of you can be high achievers. APJ Abdul Kalam, as the president on his penultimate visit to Chennai, wanted to see the boy. I also drove the car into Rajbhavan. I was sitting outside, mother and son went inside, had dinner with him and came out. So life gives you a different approach. Not everybody will have the straitjacket approach of being in some technology company. You will have something else. Take that as a challenge. Life is a challenge according to me. Life is a challenge. Meet it. Money is a matter of functions for. Life is similarly a matter of functions for, a medium, a measure, a standard, a store. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enriching words. On behalf of SIRC of ICAI, I extend our sincere thanks to all the speakers for sharing their valuable experience and enriching today's session. As a token of gratitude and appreciation, I now request CA Bupathy sir, past president of ICAI, and CA Revati ma'am, and CA K Ravi sir, past chairperson of SIRC ICAI, to join the stage and give the memento to our speakers. I kindly request CA Bupathy sir, past president of ICAI, to give the memento to CA Chithra ma'am. I now request CA K Ravi sir, past chairperson of SAIC, to give the memento to CA SHUBA GOWRISHANKAR ma'am.
Geetha Jayaraman.
CA K Ravi sir, to give the memento to CA Geetha Jayaraman ma'am. And I now request CA Revati ma'am, chairperson of SIRC of ICAI, to give the memento to CA SHUBA GOWRISHANKAR ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request to join us at the tea at the canopy session. We have IT and snacks, and after that we have an wellness session. Sorry.
Just a minute. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for remembering me. I'm not part of Chennai. I'm far away. So, yeah. But still, thank you for that opportunity to share my thoughts. And I'm so blessed to have my guru here.
Sorry. I also request CA Revati ma'am to kindly give over the memento to our past president of ICI, R Bupathy sir. Also request Revati ma'am to give the memento to K Ravi sir, our past chairperson of SIRC of ICI. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.